Hey everyone, Stephen here and welcome to week 2 of my fragrance sample wearings. So just like my previous video, I've again been wearing samples only for this week and I will continue to do so for the month of August. I basically have too many samples, so I'm making a point of wearing them and testing them, because I often buy samples en masse and then wear them once and kind of test them a few times. So I thought I'd kind of, make a more concentrated effort towards testing them. Although I'll be honest, I am actually kind of testing them very randomly. I have so many samples, I'm just actually wearing like one a day. So I'm not actually getting good tests of certain fragrances. And some of these, well, I've only kind of sampled once or twice and not actually worn properly. But there's a mixture here of things I've worn and things I'm kind of testing. Right, so today I wore Cedrat Bois by Mancera. People say it's an Aventus clone. Really? I really don't think it is, to be honest. I think this is too different. It's got a very woodiness to it, which is awesome. And I just think that overall, it's not that close to Aventus. It has the same kind of vibes. But this fragrance has good performance. It feels like high quality juice. And I really do like it. I was actually going to buy a bottle, but I'm kind of holding off that because I've got a few decent fresh fragrances now. So you've probably seen him in the comments, Mr. Raz Scott. He kindly sent me this along with M7 by YSL. So another Montal fragrance is Oud Leather. To me this smells kind of similar like Tuscan leather. I did a first impressions video of this, I filmed the first part of me smelling it for the first time, and I thought it was extremely kind of fruity. And then once I stopped filming, it became extremely smoky. I wore this last night, or the night before, and I put the same shirt on to go to work the next day, and whatever this is, it just overpowers what I was wearing currently. It's such a kind of strong, smoky feel. I also get a similar feeling from Nabil's Arab Tradition, which is a clone of Tuscan leather. This seems quite fruity, and yeah, it's okay. I don't think I'd buy that. I think I mentioned this scent last time in the video. It's Davidoff's Arga blend, or Arga, and I'm pretty sure I said this doesn't feel very oody to me. However, I wore this to work a few days ago and I've totally changed my mind. It's really heavy on the oud, I think. It's quite luxurious smelling. Oh yeah. Yeah, I really like this. I'm not kind of too well versed in Davidoff scents, but this one is really, really good. So continuing the oud theme here. I've actually ordered these pretty well. I haven't ordered them purposely. Anyway, so oud, this is Gucci Intense Oud. Again, this is okay. I've been trying many oud scents now to kind of familiarize myself with sort of lower end ouds, medium ouds, higher end ouds, etc, etc, etc. And yeah, this is quite nice. It's not the best in the opening, but sort of after about 40 minutes, I find that that's when the scent really gets going. It has a very incensey smell and oud, and I can't think what other notes are in there. But it's typical, that's the only thing. I mean, I've smelled many scents now that smell like this, but it's not bad, So I've got a designer on the list now. And yeah, if you watch my channel, you've probably seen I've gone from cheaper fragrances to, I'm talking about niche stuff here now. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to become a niche head. I don't own many niche bottles. I've got quite a lot of samples of them, but I still do have mainly samples of designer stuff. But I've just owned them for a lot longer, so I'm testing out the stuff I bought more recently. So yeah, contrary to that, there's Bogart Pour Homme. This is kind of widely regarded as a beast of a fragrance. People go absolutely apeshit over this. Personally, I don't know, it doesn't really do anything for me. I find it a bit too sweet, to be honest. It doesn't seem to be the performance monster that everyone says that it is. However, it's not a bad scent. I just can't really see myself going out and smelling like that. I've pretty much only tested this in the house. I have worn it once or twice, I've used about 2.5 mils, so I've worn it quite a few times. But I can just tell it's not for me. I've worn vintage Fahrenheit, so I owned a sample of this before I actually bought any vintage Fahrenheit myself. I've spoken about Fahrenheit and length. So yeah, here's this Zegna. So here's this Zegna Javanese patchouli. This is a gorgeous scent. I kind of done a little sample swap for this with a friend, and yeah, I'm really blown away with this scent. So yeah, I've kind of sampled this a few times now, and I'm really impressed with it. I think it's really nice. I've gone and bought a bottle. This was used for 125 ml, and it was quite costly, but potentially worth it. We'll see. So yeah, this is a lovely fragrance. Reminds me of Givenchy's Gentleman, especially more the vintage one. Has better performance than that as well. This has a really good performance on me as well. I'm looking at 8 hours. I wore this to work today. Today? No, yesterday. So I've recently acquired a sample here of Tom Ford's Vert de Bois. From first smell, I've only really tested this once. It's kind of got aspects of Italian cypress in there and somewhat similar to Quorum, but to be honest, I just wasn't that impressed. I'll spray some on now. It was quite bitter, you know, it's quite green, as obviously Vert implies. It is nice. Upon second testing that now, it's kind of really green. But just overall, it just wasn't like that impressive. I'm really hard to please my fragrances nowadays. Don't fall. So, speaking of which, you know, I bought a 10 ml sample of this, Bois d'Argent by Dior. Again, like, I just thought very little of this. The performance seemed very weak on my skin, and the smell just didn't really captivate me. I've tried what's called Cuir Canage again, Canage, and I'm really enjoying that smell. It's a fantastic fragrance, but this one just doesn't seem to compare at all. So I'll be wearing Rose d'Arabie by Armani's Privé line. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's an incredibly jammy rose, nice, not too overbearing oud in there, and yeah, it's just lovely. I really like oud and rose fragrances. I've also killed off a little sample of Xerjoff's More Than Words. I wore it last night, and they are very similar, this and More Than Words. And yeah, it's lovely. Unfortunately, I kind of tested More Than Words at the end of the night, well, in the evening, so I wore it for a few hours, and I think it was about 12 o'clock, and I kind of didn't want to go in the shower because I didn't want to wash it off because I didn't have any more of my sample to wear. But oh well. So again, from Zegna's Essenza line, I've bought Haitian Vetiver. This one is okay. I bought this one on eBay. I haven't bought any of the other ones from eBay. Only this one, but I can't tell if it's actually right. I don't know, the performance just doesn't seem there. It doesn't seem to be lacking in quality. It's definitely like really pleasing, but I just found that it just didn't seem to perform on my skin. It's a similar experience I get with the original Encre Noir. That just doesn't last very long on my skin. However, Encre Noir Sport is just mammoth. It projects like crazy upon my skin. And I've tested this. It's Herod by Parfums de Marly. When I smell this, I immediately thought of Pure Malt by Thierry Mugler. Pure Malt? No, sorry, Pure Havana. Smell from cap. But it just seemed very similar to Pure Havana. I haven't really worn it. I tested it on my hand once, but I do need to give this a wearing. But again, from my first smelling, I wasn't really blown away. I have loads of other stuff here that I've tested. So Eau Sauvage 2017 and Gucci Guilty. I'm not sure if I said this in the last video, but I've bought bottles of these. Here's the Gucci Absolute. So yeah, awesome scent. But I'm going to basically finish off these samples now before I go on to the bottle. I've been not wearing them that often, but I have always kind of like, I put them on at the end of the night. take a shower, then I'm kind of clean smelling and spray some Gucci Guilty Absolute. It's such an addictive fragrance, my god. Right, so that concludes the second week. I meant to post this video yesterday, but I've kind of delayed it. So at this rate, I'll be kind of finishing up in September. And yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and take care, and see you next one.